Also tune in to the entertainment and sports shows in the nights and on the weekends.
It is Boy Things After Dark right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
Everything is news, from current affairs and entertainment to sports, business and other categories.
Nationwide 90 FM. This is Beanie Man. Give it to them. Zaga, Zen.
From every whisper to every commotion.
That's rubbish. The KSAMC cannot investigate itself.
Every news story unfolds here first at Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Every sound is a story, and every story we share is news.
Welcome to Nationwide's live coverage of the 2025 World Championships in Tokyo, Japan. Time by VM Wealth Management is
6 a.m.
Creative Building Finishes is celebrating 25 years of transforming Jamaican spaces. And we're saying thank you in a big way. Enjoy up to 25% off select items all year long, from bold tiles to breathtaking bathrooms and kitchens. Discover everything you need to create your dream space. Visit us at 5 Red Hills Road or online at creativebuildingfinishes.com. Creative Building Finishes.
Your beautiful finish begins here.
Now, PrEP makes it so easy. One pill before you link, prevent HIV.
PrEP makes it so easy. One pill before you link, prevent HIV.
You want to do your thing with your queen or your king?
Or I get a little frisky that make you flex frisky.
PrEP, are you extra bucketed?
To help you stay HIV negative.
PrEP makes it so easy. One pill before you link, prevent HIV. PrEP tablets available at your clinic from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Delicious meals, poolside cocktails, right on the beach. Disconnect from your daily worries and reconnect with the one you love. There's no paradise like home. This summer, enjoy a romantic all-inclusive escape at Couples Tower Isle, Couples Sans Souci, Couples Negril, or Couples Swept Away from $295 USD per night. Take advantage of this offer today by visiting Couples Resorts at couples.com. Conditions apply.
Now, PrEP makes it so easy. One pill before you link, prevent HIV.
PrEP makes it so easy. One pill before you link, prevent HIV.
You want to do your thing with your queen or your king?
Or I get a little frisky that make you flex frisky.
PrEP, are you extra bucketed?
To help you stay HIV negative.
PrEP makes it so easy. One pill before you link, prevent HIV. PrEP tablets available at your clinic from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
You're listening to Nationwide's live coverage of the 2025 World Championships in Tokyo, Japan.
Hey, good morning, Jamaica. It's Friday, the 19th of September, 2025. Welcome to Nationwide's coverage of the 2025 World Athletic Championships in Tokyo, Japan. I'm Leighton Levy, and with me in studio, Raymond Casey Graham and Coach Michael Carr. I'm actually both gentlemen are coaches. I should refer to them as both coaches because they both have significant.
I'm a journalist now.
Okay, journalist slash
I'm not
coach.
a coach anymore.
Raymond Casey Graham, of course, both men with significant credentials in their careers. Today is going to be a very interesting day that concludes with the men's and women's 200 meters events in which Jamaica have strong opportunity or good opportunity to win additional medals for the country. But there are a few events that are going on now that we just bring up to date. On women's 100-meter hurdles in the heptathlon went off at 3:33 a.m. this morning, along with the women's high jump in the heptathlon, as well as the qualification round for the women's javelin. The 5,000-meter heats are currently underway, and the women's shot put heptathlon comes up at about 6:30 a.m. The women's 800-meter semifinal comes up at 6:43 a.m. approximately, and the first heat will feature Jamaica's Natoya Gould, topping many-time national champion. Of course, the heats will also include the gold medal favorite Keely Hodgkinson. You're looking at Tizege Daguma of Ethiopia, as well as Mary Mora and Georgia Hunter Bell. All of these ladies will be factoring into who eventually ends up on the podium. First of all, who gets to the final, who eventually ends up on the podium. 6:50 a.m., the men's triple jump final, which will feature Jamaica's Jordan Scott, who will be attempting to win Jamaica's first ever medal in the men's triple jump at a global championship. But he has his hands full because he has to go up. He's going up against Pedro Picardo of Portugal, former Cuban, Andy Diaz Hernandez of Italy, former Cuban, and of course the retiring Hugo Fabrice Zango of Burma and
Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso, my bad. And of course, there's a
Yassar Mohammed.
No, I'm looking for the Chinese guy, Wen Su, who are I think all will be factoring in, as well as Yaming Zhu as well. Of the people who are in the final, Jordan Scott has among the best jumps this year. Picardo 1747, Hernandez 1780, Jordan Scott 1752, and of course, Tricky. That's the name I was looking for.
Yeah,
1742. So it's not gonna be a straightforward thing. Jordan
gonna be
Scott.
tricky.
Yeah, it's gonna be very tricky. Jordan Scott is gonna have to jump perhaps a season's best, or in fact a personal best. I think would more likely guarantee
He
a
would have
spot on the
to
podium.
try and regain his earlier form that he showed at
Yeah.
the Diamond. When he won 4 Diamond
League,
League and 1 second. So he will have to recapture that kind of form if he's to be among the medal.
Yeah, and he says he's in good shape, and he says he's ready to compete. His season's best and personal best is 1752. And when you consider that Jamaica lost a potential medalist in Jaden Hibbert, who is transitioning to the country of Turkey, Jordan Scott is Jamaica's best option right now, our best hope.
And you know what I realized, Leighton? Those people that change allegiance, the ones who are replacing them now, they're doing well.
Yeah, absolutely. Except for the shot put, we don't have
except
anybody.
we don't have the shot put. Look and the long jump. Tajay Gale, I know he's a veteran. He came what?
He caught the silver medal.
Right, and our discus thrower, he's one of the favorite to medal.
Yeah.
So
Ralford Mullings.
I don't think going away they have opened the door for other people. So that's all life goes.
So opportunity came for those people who may not have been thinking were in their thinking in terms of going into the championships, but certainly they have a number of people are stepping up. We probably need another shot putter now to step up into the breach to replace Rajendra Campbell.
True.
So that's the men's triple jump. The women's javelin throw qualification group B comes up at 7 a.m. this morning. And then the men's 400-meter hurdles. There are no Jamaicans in there, but it's still a race that's going to be worth going miles to see. Wherever you are, you should find a TV because this race promises to be wild, kind of like the 400 meters last night for women.
Yeah.
With Karsten Varholm, the Olympic champion and world record holder, going up against Abderrahman Samba, who's back to form this year. Ezekiel Nathaniel from Nigeria, who's run 47.31 this evening. Ray Benjamin of the United States, whose father is Winston Benjamin, who played for the West Indies, 46.54 this season, and of course running a personal best of 46.17. Also in the mix is Alison Dos Santos, who's run 46.65 this season. Many Jamaicans would have seen him at the Grand Slam track in April in Jamaica. And so that's the men's 400-meter hurdles final. The women's final comes up at 7:27 a.m. and that features Cheyenne Salmon, and who is making her first global final after running 54.03, a big personal best this season, and which has not been the best season for her. She's run as fast as 52.97 just last year, I believe. But she goes up against Femke Ball, the hot favorite to win gold. Anna Cockrell of the United States, who was silver at the Olympics last year, running 51.87, a new personal best. Then her best time this season, 52.89. Gianna Woodruff of Panama, who has run 52.66. So it won't be a cakewalk for any of the potential medalists. And of course, Delilah Muhammad, the 2019 world champion and former world record holder, who has come into the season running a season's best time of 52.58 seconds. Then coming up, the women's 200 meters heptathlon follows at 7:38 a.m. And then the men's 200 meter finals, a lot of Jamaicans are excited about because they do believe that one Brian Lavelle has a great shot of ending up on the podium. He will be taking on the likes of Dambile from South Africa, Makaruru of Zimbabwe, Alexander Ogando of Dominican Republic, Lesile Tobogo, the Olympic champion, Noah Lyles, the world champion and the fastest man in the world this year, courtesy of that 1951 that he ran yesterday. Brian Lavelle runs in lane 7. Kenny Bednarek of the United States, who's run 19.67 this year, is in lane 8. And Zarnell Hughes of Great Britain, 1990 this year is his season's best. And of course, that promises to be quite exciting with the prospect of Brian Lavelle winning his first individual global medal. Now, shortly thereafter will be the women's 200 meter finals that will feature the two-time defending champion, Shericka Jackson, who will run in lane 7, having run at 21.99 season's best in the semifinals, looking like she's running into good form. But she takes on a tough field, including, surprisingly, Antonique Strawn of Bahamas, who seemed to have picked up a hamstring injury yesterday, but seemingly fit enough to take her place in the final. Mackenzie Long of the United States runs in lane 2. Brittany Brown of the United States in lane 3. Marie-Jose Talou Smith, who is now, Ivory Coast / Trinidad and Tobago, runs in lane 4. Amy Hunt of Great Britain, who trains in Italy with Brittany Anderson, and I think Omar McLeod is still there. Melissa Jefferson Woman, the hot favorite, the 100-meter world champion, the fastest woman in the world this year, and the 4th fastest woman all time, runs in lane 6. Shericka Jackson is in lane 7. Anavia Battle, who I think is also a strong prospect for a medal, she runs in lane 8. And Dina Asher Smith of Great Britain, whose father, I believe, is Jamaican, runs in lane number 9. So that's the lineup. That race comes up at 8:22 a.m. this morning. And so that's the full slate of events that are scheduled to take place in the only session today. So, we're not to look for the potential for Jamaica, at least. The potential is there for Jamaica to win 3 medals today.
Yes, I think so.
But let me bring you in here now, Casey Graham. Of those 3 possibilities, which do you think is the strongest?
Wow, that's a hard one. I think because all 3, I like Jordan Scott in the triple jump.
Mm-hmm.
If he can regain that form of the Diamond League, when you look at the triple jump this year, nobody's taking it by storm, and I think he has been the most consistent. Once he report in a good frame of mind, I think he's my best bet for Jamaica to be among the medals.
Mm-hmm.
The 200 meters, at Brian Neville, he looked good, but it's going to be a tough race, not because he was beaten badly in the semi-final by Level Tebogo. We do not know if he has more in him.
Yeah, because he does have a deceptive thing about
Right, he's very
very
deceptive.
Yeah.
I can tell you. And we may see a different Tebogo turning up today. And Lyles, he's a favorite. Mm-hmm. It's hard to beat. What is important is that first 150, that will be the key. And I think Lyles, for me, will win. I think Tebogo, Bednarik, and our Jamaican will fight it out. Mm-hmm. That will come down to who wants it more. The female, Shericka, she's running into shape, but this is not the Shericka of old. It's good to see her running sub 22, but she'll be attacked by 4 Americans, and I know that it's gonna be the things that I hope Stone get to. She's draw right before Jefferson. I hope she does not panic when Jefferson run past her early, because Jefferson's gonna pass her early, and I think the Americans, they have a strategy here. They're gonna put at least 2 persons to die. But I think Shericka, she's experienced. She's the 2nd fastest female ever, and I think she will get a medal too.
Mm-hmm. Mikey, what are your thoughts?
I think I'm on the same page with Casey.
Mm-hmm.
But before, I just want to say morning to all persons, viewers and listeners, and a special good morning to those persons that we saw last night at Alan Skillcole's night, and then persons express their appreciation of how we do things. I didn't know that we were so popular out there. You know what I mean? So morning to all those persons. I tend to concur with Casey in terms of our prospects. I think he hit all the nails on the head, and it's a day when, especially the men's 200, there has been a lot of talk about that particular event, how hard Lyles ran in the semi-final yesterday, wondering if he has more in the tank, and how, in some way, how easy Lavelle ran. So that is going to be a very interesting one. As far as Shericka is concerned, I think she should get on the podium, being the champion, being the person who she is.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's take a quick break and come back with more here on Nationwide Radio.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:15 a.m.
Decorate like a designer with BH Paints. The temperature brought to you by BH Paints is
28 degrees in Kingston, 28 degrees in Montego Bay.
You're listening to Nationwide's live coverage of the 2025 World Championships in Tokyo, Japan.
Okay, welcome back to Nationwide's coverage of the 2025 World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Japan. Today is day number 7. Of course, 2 days to go. And of course, the relays come up on Saturday and Sunday morning, our time. And on Saturday, we'll have 2 sessions. The morning session will include primarily the 20-kilometer race walk, the women's shot put qualification, men's long jump, the decathlon, the men's discus qualification group B that will has Andreas Goudzios, a former world champion, Matthew Denny, who has been throwing well all year, he's thrown 74 meters this year, Christian Che, and of course Frederick Dakers, the 2019 World Championship silver medalist. The Jamaican champion, Ralford Mullings, is in Group A, and he's throwing against the world champion and the world record holder. Not the world champion, sorry, the world record holder, Nicholas Alekna, whose dad had the Olympic record before one. Roger Stoner broke it last year. Daniel Stahl, Sam Mattis of the United States, Alex Rose of Samoa, and of course, people like Reggie Yeagers, who's been not consistent but up and down, and also Chad Wright, who was third at the Jamaica's national championships. Martinez Alekna is also in the field, funny enough. The brother of Nicholas, who's thrown 66.03 this season. Gentlemen, I find it's interesting to me, the Alekna story. Here is a man who is an Olympic champion, 2-time Olympic champion, a world record holder, and his 2 sons are throwing the discus as well. One of them now currently broke his father's own world record and has pushed it to a level that's, in my mind, absolutely ridiculous. I think 75 meters, 75.56 meters. And his other brother, who has a personal best of 67 meters, 67.23, with a season's best of 66.03. What do you think that dynamic is like in that household where everybody does the same discipline? Does the brother Martinez get mocked for being only a 66-meter throw in an event where the dad was a 69-meter throw and the other brother is a 75-meter throw?
I think that household is what should I say now? Just everybody is the same basically. Yeah. And everybody supports each other, should. And help each other along the way. One, of course, will never be, and one will always be. So, and with Dad's being who he is, that's a good household to be in.
Absolutely.
I believe that.
You have constant motivation. You
constant
always
motivation.
Something always to aspire to.
Exactly.
Because somebody's always setting
Somebody's always there.
And I didn't know about the younger brother, to be honest with you, the first time I'm seeing.
Yeah, man, there are 2 brothers.
I didn't know about this, about the younger brother.
Nicholas came to prominence a couple of years ago when I think he threw 71 meters or 73 meters somewhere at a meet. The same meet in Oklahoma where Ralford threw 69 that year and became more well known in Jamaican throwing circles because he used to go to Kingston College and did well there, but as you know, the field events in Jamaica doesn't get the kind of prominence that the track athletes get. But Ralford has, since he's been to the United States, I think I'm almost certain he was at Arkansas before he went over to Oklahoma.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And then he started to throw really, really far and has been consistently over 68 meters the last 2 seasons. And this year set a new national record of 72.01. I mean, remember Frederick Dakers had that record of 70.78 done by Excel. That was by Excel. That was in Europe.
In Europe, he did it,
yeah. That, funny enough, that was a throw that was first deemed a foul, and he had them check it, and he appealed it, and then it was reinstated as a new national record. So it's quite interesting to see how especially the throws have evolved in Jamaica over the past few years. Of course, remember Travis Michael, who's been out this year because of injury, has also stepped up big time with some big throws last year, but out this year with an ankle injury that took a long time to heal.
Well, what I think what's happening now is that we are seen now more as a track and field country, not just track, because we have established ourselves in all the disciplines basically right now.
I would say in field, it has been a long time in the jumps. But we also, it's the throw now. We start to establish ourselves in the throw. Because we normally do well in the jumps, but we are doing well in the throw. Remember James Beckford and Comfort? He set the pace, but now we are doing well in the throw.
And there was like Trisha Smith too.
Trisha Smith in the triple jump.
World champion.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, but the thing about it, Casey, is like, for example, the high jump. I mean, I remember, I go back to 1979 when I first went to Champs and saw Zele from Kingston College, late.
Morrison.
He died a few years back. Yeah. He was over, I think he was the first Jamaican high schooler to jump over 7 feet in a high jump. But I don't think Jamaica has produced, I mean, other than Jermaine Mason, who was jumping first and then eventually moved to England and then won a silver medal at the Olympic Games. Jamaica has never had a consistently high standard high jumper. No. But James Beckford and Robin Richards, not James Beckford. Jerome Beckford, and Raymond Richards have now put themselves in the equation.
But I was expecting more from Richards this year. We saw him. I saw him at a meet at the National Stadium when he had the place on fire, and he went early indoor and got a medal. Yeah. But he didn't. He has not translate that into the outdoor season, because I think Beckford has outperforming this year. So he's young still, and he's new to.
He's emerging. So he's not fully there. That what I'm a little bit surprised is how Beckford has not. Well, since last season, I think he should have probably been progress is not linear. Right. There are ups and downs in everything. But I was kind of expecting him to be a little bit better this year. I mean, he cleared 2.30 meters last year. I thought he probably would have been maybe even 2.30, 2.33 this year. But I think, partly I think he finished his master's degree this year, I think. Yeah. Okay. So maybe he didn't have enough time to put in the hours that he normally needs to put in. So maybe now that his degree is complete, he will then be able to focus a little bit more. If he chooses to pursue the career, that is, because when you have
the jumps, nobody really, it's not like the sprint.
Yeah.
Nobody wants
not much money in there. Right. And you got to think, you see this, and that's the thing I find that's really strange about the sport. Regardless of the discipline, I think everybody should be earning on parts, because they're parts of the fabric.
It's not going to happen.
I know it's not going to happen, but it's just that it just strikes me as that everybody can be a sprinter, and everybody can be,
and it's not everybody bring the crowd to the stadium either.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you have a meeting at the stadium, so you have a sprint fest.
Yeah.
You have a throw fest.
Your grandstand
you see 10,000.
No, you have 10,000 people.
I'm just got example.
Yeah, you see grandstand full.
Right. And if you have a throw fest, nobody's there.
Yeah, that's true. And it's to me it's a little disappointing. I mean, I'm a purist, so I like all of the events for different reasons. But unfortunately, not everybody's the same. Of course. So the evening session tomorrow will include the women's javelin heptathlon, the men's high jump decathlon, and importantly, the men's 4x400 meter relay. That comes up at 5:35 a.m. tomorrow morning. Heat 1 has Zambia, Qatar, United States, France, South Africa, Kenya, People's Republic of China, and the Netherlands. And in heat number 2, Jamaica, Japan, Brazil, Great Britain, Belgium, Portugal, Botswana, and Australia. And in the women's 4x4 relay, Jamaica runs in Heat 1 along with Poland, Great Britain, and the Netherlands, Northern Ireland, Norway, Italy, Spain, Germany, and Australia. And Heat 2 will involve Switzerland, Netherlands, Belgium, the United States, Canada, France, South Africa, and Ireland. And then the women's shot put final comes up after that. We don't have anybody in that because Daniel Thomas Dodd decided not to make herself available for competition this year for whatever reason. And then the heats of the 4x1 relay in Heat 1 sees Jamaica along with Kenya, France, Canada, Poland, Germany, United States, and Belgium.
Final.
Heat 2 sees Ghana, Netherlands, People's Republic of China, Italy, South Africa, Great Britain, and Northern Ireland, Japan, and Australia. And then the day ends with the 800 meters final for men, where Jamaica's Navaski Anderson, the newly minted national record holder, goes up against Sian McPhillips of Ireland, Mohamed Atoui of Spain, the favorite Emmanuel Wanyoni of Kenya, Jamel Sejati of Algeria, Max Bergen of Great Britain, Marco Arop of Canada, and Shepiso Masasela of Botswana in what is expected to be an intense final. Just briefly, guys, Navaski Anderson would have already achieved a certain level of success getting to an 800-meter final. I can't remember a time in recent times where a Jamaican 800-meter runner, a male runner, would have gotten into a global final. That, to me, is, and I'm asking here if you are in a similar, have a similar assessment as I do, that this, regardless of the outcome, this is a success for Navaski Anderson.
And I think that is a successful meet for him, just to get into the final. We are not known for our middle distance running. And to see having one, you see, our program is so diverse now that you can expect us popping up anywhere. And he had to do this with a national record. Mm-hmm. And when you look at our national record and compare it to some other country, we are still behind the 8 ball.
Yeah. Cheese.
Right? We are still behind the 8 ball. So it's a encouraging achievement and also one that should motivate our younger athletes who are in that particular event that yes, it can be done.
Yeah.
It's just, you see, the work for like the 400 and the 800 is not easy work.
No, it's not.
And I think that is why some of us are
away from
not going to take on those work.
The pain, yeah.
The pain. No, I remember it was one of these championships that I was at, and I watched the Kenyans prepare for an event. And what they did in their preparation was like 2 days' work here for the average youth. You know what I mean? So until we are ready to take it to that level, we will always be there and thereabouts.
Yeah, the world is at 141, 142. Mm-hmm. But Jamaica is getting closer at 143.72 and 143.74. Tyrese Taylor and, in fact, 2 men now under 144, which to me is a significant accomplishment. But Casey Graham, let's just dream for a minute and say Navaski Anderson ends up on the podium. Do you think that will have any impact on the sport, on the discipline here?
Yes, but it will never happen. I can tell you straight up. When you look at
notice the word, the word dream.
Yeah. Oh, dream.
yeah.
I don't want to have any bad dream. I think it's difficult. You just have to face reality, and that's what me. I speak the fact. And when you look at what he has done, national record 143, he has achieved his best so far, and to him reach the final, that's more achievement for him and for the country, because everybody will say, wow, Navaski, upcoming athletes will say, no, I can do like Navaski. I want to be a finalist too. But it is good. It doesn't matter. Once he is in the final, I know it's going to be done. He's going to run again 141, 142. You will have to run a super time to be amongst the medal. But I think he has achieved his maximum already. So I think kudos to him.
All right, let's take a break and come back with more here from the World Championships in Tokyo.
Clear your barrels and personal shipments with ease and convenience. Request a customs contactless clearance today through CCP at jca.gov.jm. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
6:30 a.m.
This is Nationwide Tokyo Did You Know Facts?
Did you know that Tokyo 2025 will be the third time the World Championship will be held in Japan? Yes, that's a fact. The championships was first held in Tokyo in 1991 and then in 2007 in Osaka.
That was Nationwide Tokyo Did You Know Facts, brought to you by the Real Estate Board.
Already have a T-Tag for your vehicle? Just top it up and go through. Now you can see funds in your T-Tag account almost immediately after topping up. So, if you're already on your journey, you can safely pull off the road and top up using the My T-Tag app or WhatsApp. Or ask your passenger to do it for you. And within 5 to 10 minutes, you can enjoy the lower toll rates and other benefits of the T-Tag lane. Even if you forget to top up before you started your trip. Top up your T-Tag and continue to go through quicker and cheaper on Transjam highways.
You're listening to Nationwide's live coverage of the 2025 World Championships in Tokyo, Japan.
Welcome back to Nationwide's coverage of the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Japan. Of course, we are in day number 7 of 9. The championships winds up on Sunday with the relays, of course, the 4x1s and the 4x4s that will then conclude the championships. Hopefully, Jamaica will be able to add a few more medals from those events. But we'll talk more about that later on in the day. But guys, yesterday, of course, we mentioned yesterday significant accomplishment of some of our Caribbean neighbors here. 3 medals from the Caribbean yesterday outside of Jamaica. Jamaica did not pick up a medal yesterday, but our Caribbean neighbors did very well. Keyshawn Walcott winning gold, his first World Championship gold medal to go with the Olympic gold he won in 2012 and the bronze medal that he won in 2016. And Jerry Richards finishing second in the 400 meters, 44.72, a new personal best and national record for him there. And of course, Tia Lafont of Dominica winning silver in the long jump.
And the javelin too. Peters. Anderson.
Oh, Anderson Peters, yeah, my bad. Yeah. Yes,
yeah.
Anderson Peters, my bad. Anderson Peters, the 2019 and 22 world champion, picking up a silver medal as well. Yeah, when you look at what we're seeing from our Caribbean neighbors, it's not just necessarily the sprints. Because Trinidad is famous for Arthur Bolden and Hazel Crawford and Kellyanne Baptiste and Michelle Aye, and Richard Thompson. There are so many big stars coming out. But how significant it is, or how significant is it that Keyshawn Walcott, 13 years after he won his first global title as a 19-year-old, I think it was, in 2012, to come back now and win another global gold medal in a strong field, because you had Chopra, you had Nizam, you have Anderson Peters, you had Weber, you had guys who were throwing 90 meters over the past 2 seasons, especially Weber, who threw 91 meters just a few weeks before the World Championship started. How significant do you think that is for a country like Trinidad and Tobago that's trying to revive its track and field prospects under the leadership of Ephraim Surrett?
Yes, I think it's a significant achievement. And I am just picturing the Trinidadians now, how they are enjoying the moment. Just like us, when we get medals, we praise and we are happy. And that's good for the nation. I mean, it's not much. I don't see them winning any other medal right now. So that's a significant achievement, and it all says well for the region itself. First and second in the 100, first and second in the javelin. It means that something is happening. Second in the 400. You know, the program, and I remember, as we talk about that, I remember one Mr. Teddy McCook, who was very instrumental in spreading the knowledge across the region, because at one stage he was a knockoff president. Yeah. And that was one of his goals in sharing the knowledge in the region. And I think it's paying dividends now.
And gentlemen, for you to win an event 11 years ago and to come back 11 years after and win.
Not 11 years, 13 years.
13. Remind me of our young man in the hurdles. He made his first medal at the
World Juniors.
Right, and 9 years after.
Tyler Mason.
Right. So I think for him to stay in the sport so long, because after winning the first time and you kept on losing, some people have given up. Yep. But to stay there after 13 years and come back, that's a great achievement, a winning goal.
Yeah, so Keyshawn, of course, along with Jerry Richards, you have to have a kind of almost like a special feeling for Jerry Richards. 2017, he was a member of Trinidad's team that won the 4x4 at the World Championships in London. He ran the fastest split, 43. I think I'm trying to remember. It's 43. So he ran a 43 split. He's world indoor champion, 45 flat. Misses out last year just by a fraction in the 400 meters in Paris, and now coming through just a little bit faster, but up basically 2 medal places in the 400 meters here yesterday. Certainly, it then adds to his legacy as perhaps Trinidad's greatest 400 meter runner, doesn't it? I mean, we had Dion Lindor and others, the late Dion Lindor, who was outstanding for Trinidad and Tobago. But certainly, Jerry certainly now is putting himself up there as among.
And when you look at the time that he has done in comparison to those who were before, big difference,
Yeah, so that was significant as well. I don't know if you realize this, but this is probably the first time in a long time that Grenada 400 meters, Kirani James did not make it to a global final.
He has had his problems.
He was looking good in his race. And in the last part, some things seemed to have gone wrong, and he just faded.
Yeah, it struck me. It struck me after the race yesterday, because when the commentator said that there were no athletes from the World Championships final in 2023 in this, and it didn't strike me until after the race started that I'm used to hearing Kirani James's name. Talk to me a little bit, guys. Is he the best 400 meter runner to come out of the Caribbean? A full slate of Olympic medals, World Championship medals. Remember, he's been winning since Carifta.
At all levels, yeah.
And if you rate someone by the medal, he has been the most successful, so he must be the best based on his medal intake. So you have to give it to him. He's the best because you are rated according to your medal intake, and he has proven that. So you have to give him that.
Yeah,
and he did it from the junior level up to the senior level.
Yeah, winning Carifta, he won in college. He won the World Championships in 2011, the Olympic title in 2012. He was, in 2016, he was a silver medalist, I believe, after Van Niekerk won in a world record 43.03. He's always been a part of the final, and more often than not, he's been on the podium.
And I remember, I think it was 2011 in Barcelona, when at 16, I think at that time, when he won the 400 meters. That's the same year of, what's his name from Britain? Germany, Grimley, what name again? From Great Britain.
Coming back to
Jeremy Lee.
I don't remember.
He was a champion. Same time when Anthony Stronto came on the scene at the same time. Same time Dina Asher Smith also came on the scene at that championship. And to see where he has taken it in comparison to the others, I think he's the greatest quarter miler from the Caribbean.
Yeah, man. Of course, a decade or more of excellence. So, congratulations and significant kudos to Kirani James, who continues to excel for Grenada, and of course an inspiration for so many. Remember, he has Rondell Bartholomew, who was also a big time runner from Grenada, but didn't quite achieve the things that Kirani went on to achieve.
Half of Grenada is named Kirani James,
including the national stadium. Yeah. So it's going to be, the next few days are going to be quite interesting. But tell you what, let's throw over to some commentary now. Of course, the women's 800 meters semifinals come up in about 3 minutes. So let's move over to Tokyo and hear some of the commentary from Japan. career. Wayne has Natoya Gould topping with him after her fourth place finish. Was it fourth or fifth place finish in the 800 meter?
Yeah, fifth, yes. 159 and change. All right, Natoya, setting into your World Championship campaign tonight, I didn't get a chance to have your view on your first round, which you won because you're running to catch the bus last night. Tell me about tonight.
Well, I'm a bit disappointed because I know I'm better than what I did tonight, you know. I saw that the pace was going a bit too slow for the first lap, you know, so I tried to, you know, run my race. But in the end, I didn't get to finish where I want to finish because I was hoping to be in top 2 tonight and even in top 4 in case this passes loser. But, you know, I got dipped at the line for, you know, 4th place. But, you know, I'm just trying to keep my head held high because I know what I can do and I know it will come to pass one day.
Finally, do you take any heart from the fact that you dipped below 2 minutes?
Yes, I do, but you know, I'm way better than 159.5. You know, so of course the disappointment is there because I know I could challenge a medal. I know I'm in the shape to do it, but unfortunately that didn't happen.
Well, good luck for next year. I'm sure you're going to use your off season to reflect and get ready.
Yeah, and just to add to that, you know, of course, yes, I'm disappointed, but I'm truly blessed to be here and being able to make it to the next round because I've had a challenging season, you know, being sick most of the time or injuries. So I'm really happy because I don't know if you guys remember trials. I was brought to, you know, the medical afterwards because I just, you know, I had some nerve issues. So, you know, it's just at the end, I started to like feel in and start getting better, you know, and get over that injury. So I am truly blessed to be able to make it to the semis. I know I wanted to reach the finals, but I know in due time.
You'll be back, Nats. Don't worry about it.
Thank you.
Good. All right, that's all you go there talking about her performance in the 800 meters.
Yeah, Wayne. I know. Look, one of the things that I do know for a fact is that she was hampered for most of the season with an IT band issue that we talked about here in the studio yesterday. So her preparation might not have been as good as she would have wanted it, but still, she gets to the semifinal, and you know she's been a long-serving representative for Jamaica, and we continue to be proud of her.
And she's talked about it a lot. She's now 10 years into representing Jamaica.
20 years.
Jamaica, senior level, not the senior level. She did say 10 at the senior level, so I'm not sure, but that's what she said. That's the number she's quoted, you know, many times before.
Yeah. So but certainly, you know, Natoya has continue to represent Jamaica well, you know, in the 800 meters.
She's a flagship bearer for that event.
Absolutely. So I mean, you know, she continues to serve, and we just have to keep giving her our best of our support. Wayne, since we have you online here, I'm sure, like in Jamaica here, there's a big buzz about the 200 meter finals coming up this evening, primarily because of one Brian Lavelle. I think Shericka Jackson returning to form is very encouraging. But what's the mood like? What's the narrative like? What's the word on the ground as it relates to the young Jamaican going up against the established stars of Noah Lyles and Leslie Tobogo and Kenny Bednarek?
Yeah. I tell you what, you know, I was telling Brian today that he must not do anything. Don't break the law. Don't commit any crime because he can't hide. Everybody know where he's at. He's in Noah Lyles' head. And so last night, it's the reason why when he came in here, he was really, really pumped because that response from Noah to throw down the fastest semi-final in World Championship history, then to say he didn't know he was going that fast, or he thought that Daniel Lewis was on the outside and so on. The reality is he responded to an upstart. Yeah. You can't be world and Olympic champion and responding to a literal upstart, a virtual upstart, who came out and looked so much easier than he did. And that was a message to Brian Lavelle. I tell you what, it's not going to work. Brian is one of the calmest and most chilled individuals you'll see. Mm-hmm. Noah's going to have to work if he's going to win tonight. I think he's going to win. I think he's faster and a better 200 meters runner than Brian Lavelle. There's no question about it. And if he comes out tonight and runs his best race, Brian will not beat him. However, he knows that this time he can't slip because he is a young guy out of Jamaica, barely out of Edwin Allen High School, ready to take that crown. All his crowns have been stripped away from him, yeah? He's no longer the 100 meters champion. He's no longer the Olympic 200 meters champion. And tonight, he could crash and burn if he jokes around with this young Jamaican star. And many people are looking forward to it. It's going to be one massive, massive, massive event to bring the day to an end. I'm really looking forward to that. Tell you, Lavelle is really chilled. Believe me, he's chilled.
Wayne, we are talking as if this is a 2-horse race. What about Bednarik and Teboga?
No, it's not a 2-horse race, but the fact is, you have a young pretender coming against the champion. Yeah, and so while we have 8 people in the race, they've got to be subplots, and the biggest subplot is a youngster, barely known to anybody inside the stadium, threatening the biggest name in our sport, the face of our sport, Noah Lyles. It doesn't get better. So yes, people recognize the talent of Kung Fu and Letsile, who is the Olympic champion. Nobody will discard them, but if you're building up an event like this, you've got to put the subplots in it. And the biggest of the subplots is this young, unknown Jamaican, barely known to anybody before this year on the global stage, suddenly emerged, and not only emerged, but put down 2 fantastic nights here inside this fantastic stadium and want to crescendo tonight with another fantastic performance. Where will it get him? I'm not sure. But as I said before, if Noah runs his best race tonight, Brian will be beaten. If he doesn't, Brian is there to really take it from him.
And to corroborate your point, Wayne, when they asked Noah Lyles about Brian Lavelle last night, he said that he didn't know much about him. He didn't know where he's coming from, but he's running well. So it brings to the fore the point you're making about the young upstart challenging the world champion. And it's a beautiful subplot because these are 2 countries that have been perennially been at war on the track. So it brings a new dynamic to the event and a lot more excitement as well.
Of course. And Noah, love him or hate him, he's honest every time. He says what's on his mind. There's nothing pretentious about him. He understands better than anybody else in the sport what it means and what it can give him to be there out front. He puts himself out there and people criticize him. Well, you've got to love him. I think he's supposed to be a protected species. The sport needs him, you know? As good as Sydney is, she's lacking in personality. The sport needs it, and Noah provides it, and he brings it every time. And we must appreciate him for it. Yes, not everybody's going to like him. You're going to rub people the wrong way. But Noah is Noah. You know, you have Muhammad Ali, you have Sugar Ray Leonard, you have Brian Lara. In all sports, you have them. And I think people need to appreciate that we have a Noah Lyles here. And most times he backs up his talk.
All right, Wayne, let's jump back over to the triple jump competition now, where Jamaica's Jordan Scott is in competition, hoping to be a medalist, Jamaica's first in the event at any global championships. So Wayne, we'll talk to you a little bit later on.
Sure. Well, I'm always online. I'm always on.
All right.
So jump in whenever you want to.
Cool. He hit a couple of hurdles, which is unusual for him. Are we seeing the beginning of the end of Karsten Warholm's dominance in the 400-meter hurdles, or this is just an anomaly?
No, it's just the issues that he had in the race. He's still a world-class athlete, but when you hit one hurdle, one barrier, it throws you
off completely.
So that's what happened. He's easier for a long while, but that was unfortunate. When you look at the people who beat him, Benjamin is a world champion, Olympic champion. Santos has been doing very well, and Santos improved tremendously. When I saw him in the first 2 rounds,
he didn't look great.
He was struggling, but he seems to relish lane 9. I don't think this is the end of Warholm.
That's the end. I mean, in terms of his dominance, because he was dominant for a very long time.
Yeah, that's true. But this is hurdles, this barriers, and things can happen.
And I don't think, and he did not just brush that hurdle. He really hit the hurdle. To sort of when he came off, he lost his balance and all of that.
Momentum.
And in cases like these, you cannot give this type of feel a few steps on you.
Yeah,
you just cannot get
get it back.
Never.
Let's spare a thought for Abdurrahman Samba. Last time he was on the podium was way back in 2019. Had a lot of injuries. I think he even did surgery too, if I remember correctly. And so finally, 6 years later, he's back on the podium, 47.06. Not a bad time. This is a man who's run 46.99, I think, already. So he's getting back to his best, Casey Graham.
This is a comeback championship. You see a lot of athletes who did well years ago. They're coming back to the party. And he has been consistent, all season. Qatar athletes have been doing well in the 4 hurdles. And he's a leader. And I'm happy for him. He has done well. And to come back from so many injuries and to be among the medals, it's a great achievement.
Okay, Wayne is joining us again. Not as a guest, not with that interview subject, but certainly weighing in on the conversation. Wayne, having looked at that race, you normally don't see Karsten Warholm make these kind of mistakes in major finals. What's your thoughts on what could have possibly gone wrong in terms of this race, given how well he's competed at global championships since 2017?
Right, and how he has competed at global championships the last 2. He was beaten by the same man. I agree with you that his years of dominating the event has come to an end. Will he not win more races? Of course he's going to win, but he's not going to totally have the event under his spell. The new man is Rai. Rai is now the best in the world, and you're going to see it going forward. What happened to Rai, in my view, is that fresh out of the NCAAs like 2 or so years ago, he needed time to sort of grow into the event. I think he's grown into the event right now. And I think at the minute, it's going to take an awful lot to beat him from any of them, the Santos, Samba, and Warholm. Yes, they're going to win the other races. But I think he's now the man. The Olympic champion and the world champion is not by accident. It's by the fact that he has now become the man in the event. And Karsten is worried about it because for so many years, the first time I saw him was in London in 2017. I remember a rainy, cold night, the same night that Shawnee Miller-Weber ran. And I'll never forget it when Karsten came around that and brought the word up. And I said, where is this guy from? His years of dominating, absolute dominance, are over. It's Rai's time. Yes, Karsten is going to win the other races. The Santos might as well. But Rai is right now the man.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, that was an impressive performance from Ray Benjamin as well. 46.17, a season's best this year, but certainly the winning time is still significant. I mean, when you look at how this event has evolved in the last half a decade, where 47s no longer do it for you. 47.06 would have been a significant time for every year except for the last 2 or 3 years. It seems as if the only chance you have to win a global gold medal in this event is to run 46 seconds or faster.
Which is why it's so difficult for people like Rashawn and Malik. They are up against the 3 best ever in the event. That's one to begin with. When you look at the age difference, it's not too far apart. It means that if these guys continue to improve and Rashawn and Malik and those guys don't improve, they'll never, ever, ever win a medal unless something goes awry, taking everything into consideration. And it's sad to say, but it's the reality of it. These guys are closing their eyes and running 46 and 47. Nobody else in the world is running it, just those three.
Yeah.
Every now and again, Samba does it. But these three are the ones setting the standards, and it's a reason why they're the best ever.
Yep. So let's give you the winning times. Ray Benjamin of the United States, 46.72. Alison Dos Santos of Brazil, the 2022 world champion, 46.84 for second. And Abdurrahman Samba of Qatar, 47.06 for third. Ezekiel Nathaniel of Nigeria, new national record, 47.11. Carson Varholm, fifth, 47.58. Ajicom of Germany, 47.98. Caleb Dean of the United States, 48.2. And Abakar of Qatar, 49.82, wraps up the final in 8th position on the men's 400-meter hurdles. We go back now to the commentary for the women's race that will feature Jamaica's Cheyenne Salmon and the favorite Femke Ball. break and come back with more here on Nationwide Radio.
Give up every illegal gun. Call the police at 119 or Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Ministry of National Security is
7:33 a.m.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Who wants something really nice, thanks and please. Burger King, new cheesy fries, cheese and peas. Who wants something really nice, thanks and please. BK, new cheesy fries, cheese and peas. Cheese and peas, man I like. I got my set when I taste the new cheesy fries. Just 5 bills with cream and cheese sauce. Or load it up your way, you are the boss. Everybody sing this part. Hey. Who wants something really nice, thanks and please. BK, new cheesy fries, cheese and peas. Get the new cheesy fries, limited time only at Burger King.
Jamaica's largest tile selection just got even bigger. Discover what's new at Active Home Center. With our latest arrivals, it's easier than ever to make your space truly unique. Explore ocean blues, botanical greens, and soft sandy neutrals that bring a calm, effortless vibe. From bold patterns to sleek, large format tiles in glossy or matte finishes, every room makes a statement. Shop now at Active Kingston and Montego Bay. Active Home Center. More savings, more choices.
Ready to take your business beyond borders? JAMPRO, the national agency driving exports and investments, is on a mission to supercharge Jamaican businesses. An agency of the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, JAMPRO is bringing you an exciting radio series that's all about growing your exports and unlocking international opportunities. From expert insights to real opportunities, tune in to learn more about Jamaica's export advantage.
You're listening to Nationwide's live coverage of the 2025 World Championships in Tokyo, Japan.
Welcome back to Nationwide's coverage of the 2025 World Championships in Tokyo, Japan. We're hearing news. We're trying to confirm that Ray Benjamin has been disqualified in the men's 400-meter hurdles. Casey, have you seen anything to?
Yes, it's official. It's Santos is now first.
Santos is now the so he would have been defending champion now, right? Because he won in 2022. So
Samba is second and Nathaniel is third.
Is third. Wow, so that's bad news for Ray Benjamin there, thinking he would have built up on his Olympic title with a world championship title. He was not to be disqualified.
It's devastating.
But you know, they're probably one of two things. One of those legs, whether the trail leg or so.
It is
normally.
there now. I tell you what happened now.
What is saying?
It has to do something with the trail leg
or a line violation or something.
No. It's unfortunate, after winning so handsomely and then to lose in the stewards room.
Yeah, devastating.
Yep, unfortunate for Ray Benjamin. So the new champion is Alison Dos Santos. Winning his second title, and of course go over to win, who now has Cheyenne Salmon with him.
Well, I'm just going to allow you to tell me what happened. You didn't put out your best performance tonight. What happened?
Well, all season I've been struggling with this thing. Not going to disclose exactly what it is, but yeah, I was feeling it since the semi-final round. And I just came out here and finished the race as best as I could tonight.
Mm-hmm. Because it did look at one stage as if you gave up.
I wouldn't say gave up, but I was trying to keep my race stride and all that I did. I usually practice, but it just wasn't happening in terms of maintaining the strides. And so I just finished.
Were you worried coming into the race that whatever that thing is, it might have affected you?
Of course, I'm going to be worried because if every time I run I feel it, then it's something that you can't really not think about. But at the same time, you're taught to have mind over matter and stuff like that. So I was just putting the most positive thoughts, not thinking about it, and then planning to execute as best as I could.
Can it be fixed?
Of course. It's just going to take time, rehabilitation. Yeah, me and my coach will work on it.
All right, go get a good off season, get some rest, eat some food, get some sleep, and get back next year.
Most definitely. Thank you.
Take care, Shai.
Okay, so we're trying to confirm something because we hear that Ray Benjamin has been disqualified, but then the official results are saying that he's been reinstated.
The result came first that he was DQ, then the results came later that he's number one. So a bit confused.
We're trying to confirm whether or not if we disqualified, maybe they appealed and then that overturned. We'll bring you an update on that as soon as we're able to get an official word on it. But the initial word that we're getting is that Ray Benjamin was disqualified. The official results have him as champion.
Yes,
still.
the latest results.
So let's see how that eventually turns out, because then we're trying to look at what the official result that we have says. Let's see, looking at that. So Heat 5, semifinals, finals. So much to qualify, but not seeing anything to say that he's been reinstated or that he was actually, well, the initial thing was that he was disqualified.
That was the...
But we're not getting information to suggest that it's been overturned or anything, not just yet. But we're working on it for you. But in the meantime, let's get back over to the results, to the live competition, in Tokyo.
like a little cramp, and just out of the rhythm there, slaps into the third hurdle, and it's just a terrible race. Never get into the race, so of course I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, because you're normally up there with at least on the podium.
Yeah.
Will this affect your off season as you plan for next season?
Yeah, of course it makes me hungry.
Yeah. Bryce performance. Olympic champion, world champion, now the event getting far more exciting.
Yeah, he's really good. So congratulations to him.
Yeah. Has he been reinstated, by the way?
Yeah, it's very good for him. He deserves it.
Carson, thank
you.
Thank you.
The world record holder sounding pretty disappointed. Explained really what happened, felt a pop behind his knee like a cramp, and he threw his entire race off. Telling people all the time that sometimes when an athlete performs poorly, it's not because they plan to, it's because they can't do better than that. And look, he still ran 47.58. That's ridiculous. So kudos, commiserations to him. You can't win them all.
And when you hear the journey from the warm-up area to the stadium, and anything is possible within that space.
Yep. So Carson Barham there.
Guys, the race a while ago was a heptathlon race. Now we could cut that easily and come to Carson. You know how long he's standing here?
Yeah, but I didn't get the notification. I just heard that.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't know you was on the I'm sorry about that, lady.
Yeah. Sorry.
Apologies.
No problem.
I was just saying. No. I was talking to the guys in the production. I'm very sorry. I didn't know I was still live on here. Yeah, man. Because when he came in, his handlers were saying, no. We have to go. And I had to tell him, listen, they're coming now. And every time we look, and he almost left. So I was talking to the guys in the studio. I'm sorry about that. I'm really, really, really sorry.
No worries. No, man. But Jordan Scott is struggling with 17, 19, and then now 2 jumps just under 17.
Yeah,
he's
1694, 1674. Yeah. At the moment, he's one of 4 people over 17 meters, but the ones who are over 17, like 1749, people of 1755, well ahead of his 1719. So, he's struggling, and it's a pity because, as we said, he came into the championship, really in good form.
Yeah.
Outside of the performance in the Diamond League final, he's been the man all season. And how many times have we seen this? People dominating and coming here and then just don't put up the performances.
That's not happening. Yep. It happens.
Right.
And just to let our listeners know that, as we said, we had heard that Ray Benjamin was disqualified. He has actually been reinstated, so he is now. He is the world champion, and you just heard Carson. Yeah, you just heard Carson confirm it as well that he's been reinstated as world champion.
Gentlemen, I ran into Murray Lady Paulina today at lunch. In fact, we had lunch today, and she looked a little different in street clothes, a jeans and a nice T-shirt. And she was almost unrecognizable. Very, very, really, really cool chick. And so we had, lunch on the terrace at the Adidas house, and we took the opportunity, myself and Robert Williams from IRA, to chat to her a bit. And she didn't say this, but we read between the lines. Is Sydney here to stay in the event? Possibly, because the 400 hurdles, it's no secret. It doesn't pay money, because if you notice that the package of Diamond League for a 2-hour television show, and so most times the 400 hurdles is the first event to go up, and they just tape it and play it back when they have dead air.
Yeah.
They don't get a great deal of attention. With Sydney in it got a little bit more, but she was all alone. She won everything going away. And so Paulina believes that she's now stepping down to the 400, which pays better than the 400 hurdles. And now, with the 3 of them in it, can now force promoters to put this event as prime time. She could also step down to the 200 meters. You never know. So it is something to think about, that she might just be here to stay in the 400 meters because it pays better. And now she has people who can push her. I think if she wasn't cold last night, the world record would have gone. Probably Paulina would have broken the world record. It rained before and they were a bit cold. If the bodies were hotter, that world record would have been crushed last night without question.
Well, the good thing about it is that Sydney is probably one of the biggest names in the sport. So if she can bring attention to the 400 meters, which us fans are so excited about, that's a good thing, because that's what we like. That's what track and field is all about, rivalries, that intense competition between the best performers. And I think Sydney stepping down to the 400, because she's done everything that she could possibly do in the 400-meter hurdles. She's put the world record at a level now where that record could probably stand for another two decades. So the situation is now that she's down to the 400. You have Paulino, you have Salwa, and you have emerging talents like Aaliyah Butler, of course, hopefully people like Dejana Oakley, and of course Nikisha Price, and a lot of other talent that makes the 400 meters a lot more exciting than it has been in recent years, where it's been dominated by primarily two people. I mean, Shawnee Miller recently, yes, but Shawnee is now on the back end of a successful career.
Right.
So Sydney stepping down to it certainly brings more attention to it, and I think it's a good thing for track and field. Each of these events need their own respective fan bases, and that I think will build upon the fan base of the sport, and perhaps being able to return it to the prominence it once had.
Another thing. Just a second, coach, before you come in, because I'm going to. Another thing that the athletes are happy about, and I am happy about it. We've been calling for it for years, and World Athletics has finally listened. Let's hope it's not just for this year, where the athletes, when they perform at the Olympic Games and the World Championship, they go home after and don't go back on the circuit. You put people on a high to meet, the high demands at the World Championship, and then ask them to leave. I remember in 2008, I was at the airport in Beijing, Usain cracking up Beijing with his 3 world records and his 3 gold medals. And we met in the airport, and he said he was heading to Switzerland for the Zurich Diamond League, and he had about 3 or 4 more. When you put them on a high, it's like going to Champs and then having to come down to Carifta.
Yeah.
It's not the same. And so what World Athletics has done is make sure that this is the last one. Today, Ronnie Baker, the American sprinter, is here. He said he arrived there on September 3, and he's been practicing. All he's been practicing is for relays, and he was here on September 3. And he said he's happy because his daughter joined him at lunch today, and his girlfriend. And he says, listen, I can go off if I want to go to Bali or want to go to Thailand, which is very close to here. He can do it. He doesn't have to think about then going to the circuit. And most of the athletes, when we ask them about it, they're very, very happy that World Athletics has done it. And let's hope it's not just a one-off.
Yeah, and it's a logical conclusion to the season. You build in the Diamond League meets and the other area meets towards the World Championships, and this is where then you take all your best performers, hopefully, once everybody's healthy, and you have one last hurrah, and then everybody just goes home and ends the season. I think it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and I'm happy they've done it.
Yeah, I mean, because you don't see the World Cup, for example, ends and then people go back to the leagues. The World Cup ends the competitive season for football. So you go, you compete, you go to the World Cup, and you're done. Similarly, I think it makes sense for the Olympics as well. It makes sense that this is how it should be, because again, when you peak, for example, for the Olympics or the World Championships, and then it's almost like a letdown to go back to a Diamond League meet when your body's just tired because you have to run these rounds and all the travel, and you just want to go home. You don't want to be going, all over Europe.
And there's that like a psychological, mental thing that's involved too.
Yeah, so it makes perfect sense, and I knew the athletes would like it because it's a logical way to end any season with the championships, and then go home and put your feet up, bask in the glory of your success if you're one of those who are fortunate enough to win medals and get some well-deserved rest.
Just imagine asking Sydney now to go run in Brussels next week.
Yeah, makes no sense.
Well, maybe she's not the right example because she probably could run another 10 races, but maybe something else.
Yeah, right way because she has not been competing.
She doesn't compete much. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah,
I'm happy they did it.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Sense. All right, so the men's 200 is coming up in the next few minutes, actually. And Wayne, let's hear your thoughts. How do you see this event shaking out?
Yeah, as I say, put it this way. When Noah was running inside the empty stadium in 2021 in this very stadium, Brian Lavelle probably was picking orange and dance in Edwin Frank Field. And just 4 short years later, 5 years later, he's come into this national stadium here, filled to capacity tonight, and is one of the main draws. I tell you what, it's perfect timing for him to emerge at the moment he did, because the subplot would be tonight, settlement of the argument with Noah and Kung Fu, with what they went on with at the US trials. this will be the perfect time to close the season and the winner takes it all and go home. Here's a Jamaican youngster, plucked out of relative obscurity, coming inside this national stadium tonight, being the center of attention, going up against the biggest star in track and field right now. You couldn't want it better. However, let's be realistic and let's be real. Brian is who he is, an emerging talent, somebody who has grown so massively in front of our very own eyes, and we appreciate that he has a massive future ahead of him. Noah Lyles is not easily beaten the 200 meters, not at all. Worse, he lost 100. Oh, a Jamaican doesn't want it to happen again tonight. And I say to you, if he comes here tonight and runs his best race, he's going to win, because he's better than Lavelle, and he's better than everybody else in the 200. It's his event. But if he doesn't produce his best tonight,
he will lose.
They're going to take it off him.
Well, let me ask you this. If Brian Lavelle does do the impossible and win here, or the improbable, I should say, and win, what does that do for Shaniki Osborne's legacy or reputation in Jamaica as a coach?
First of all, there's the second fastest woman in history who may be looking at this race tonight, wherever she is, and might just have a great deal of doubt, which I'm sure she shouldn't, because she knows of Shaniki's quality, both when she was with her as an individual and while she was a part of the MVP. It's clear that Shanika knows her business. Elaine wanted her. It just didn't work out because there's another party or two other parties that were involved in the whole negotiation, based on what we heard, And so there's no question about what Shanika can do. She came in the other day. We saw her last week, Wednesday. Quite unassuming. She came and she sat there. She was talking to Brian. And she oozed confidence. And when you see a guy like Brian, he could have gone anywhere. He could have gone anywhere to any coach. And he decided to go with her. It tells you what kind of coach she is. As I said, she has Tiana Lee Terrelong. We're going to see what Tiana Lee Terrelong is going to do next year. There's the Trinidad and Tobago youngster who won the Pan Am Games gold medal. So her reputation is growing, She has one or two others. But if Brian should win tonight, and I tell you what, Brian doesn't have to win the race for her reputation to go through the roof. If Brian puts on a stunning performance here tonight, it will just seal Shaniki's fate as one of the best coaches in the country. Because she suffered from being a female. Sometimes when you hear people talk, well, should I go to her? What should I? Tonight, Brian can seal her legacy for himself and for her as well.
Quick thoughts from each of you guys about how do you see the outcome of the 200 meters?
Well, it's about the 10th time now. As I said, Noah Lyles should win, and second and third, a very close fight between three athletes.
It's experience up against inexperience, so it can go anyway. Execution will come down to give the final result, I think.
All right, so
that first 120 will be very important.
All right, so we'll take a break and come back with more here on Sports on Nationwide Radio.
When you want the food shell and make the rice well, just gimme me Kendall. When it's down, Kendel. Gimme me Kendall.
Another quality product from the Carimed Group.
Just gimme me Kendall.
The time by Kendall Foods, the taste of quality, is
2 minutes past 8 a.m.
Success, powered by learning. The temperature, brought to you by Sandals Corporate University. Come grow with us, is
28 degrees in both Kingston and Montego Bay.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Do it for your best life, do it. Go check your HIV status, do it.
So keep your life trending, no pretending. Me, I tell you, if you do it for you, do it for you. Every time you are link with a condom, coulda Ozzy, coulda wife, coulda be a random. Condom connect and protect your profile. Be your own fan. Do it for your best life. Do it for your best life. Do it. Don't put yourself at risk. Condom connect every time. Do it for your best life. Do it.
Spring into style with Unique Living. Upgrade your home with our extensive range of products. Get sleek shower panels, stylish vanities, LED and non-LED mirrors, plus kitchen sinks, closet solutions, ceiling fans, and more. Available in various finishes and sizes. Visit shop number 6, 30 Dunrobin Avenue, Kingston 10. Call 876-755-3661 or visit our website at www.uniquelivingja.com. Don't wait to spring into style with Unique Living.
You're listening to Nationwide's live coverage of the 2025 World Championships in Tokyo, Japan.
Welcome back to Nationwide's coverage of the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo, Japan, and we go straight over to the commentary because the 200-meter finals is on track and it features Jamaica's Brian Lavelle, Letsil Tobogo, Kenny Bednarek, and of course the reigning champion Noah Lyles. I guess the questions have been answered. Noah Lyles first, 19.52. Kenny Bednarek, 19.58. Brian Lavelle in his first global championship, 19.64. Brand new personal best and the bronze medal. So he's on the podium. I remember talking to a couple of coaches overseas just a couple of days ago when he ran 19.84, and one of them said specifically to me, 3 men are not going to beat him to the podium. And so it turned out. But it was close because Leslie Tebogo was fourth in 19.65. It was extremely close. It was a keen battle down the end, and Noah Lyles, of course, continues to prove that he is a true champion. This is his fourth 200-meter world title, and he almost repeated the 1951 from the finals. But, gentlemen, we know Noah Lyles and Kenny Bednarek have already established their legacies on the global circuit. But for a youngster to be in his first world championship and push these gentlemen as close as he has speaks to something special about this young man. If you remember, before Usain Bolt blew up on the circuit in 2008, he was second to Dyson Gay in Osaka, Japan, in the 200 meters. Are we likely to see something similar for this young man, formerly of Edwin Allen?
Yes, he's an outstanding talent. And remember, Bolt came on the scene very young, and he's inexperienced. And to come at this stage and to be among the medals, I think that's a great achievement. And I think the future looks bright for him.
Coach Carr?
Yes, I tend to agree with that. And he made them run. Because, when he came off, when they turned home, they were kind of across the track. I think he was in front at that time also. Yes, he was in front at that time also. And it was a good race, and the future looks bright. Future looks bright for him if he continues on the same track.
Wow, Jordan Scott has had a massive jump, but it was foul. So he ends up fifth. Well, for now he's fifth, so he's out of the medals basically.
And yes.
So let's go over to. Okay. Let me bring Wayne in here. Wayne, outstanding performance from Brian Lavelle, a new personal best, 19.64. I don't think anybody could ask for more in the circumstances where you're up against the three best 200-meter runners in this modern era, and still held his own to be on the podium.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, the greatest thing coming out of this, Leighton and coach, and, well, two coaches, Casey and Michael, is that there's not a major championship next year. So he can spend next year and perfect the art of the 200 meters, learn to run the event, learn the event a little more. So when he turns up in Beijing for the next World Championship in 2027, he could be a different person, because with the pressure of a major championship next year, he would be under pressure to keep this going. Now he can take it easy next year, learn the event, perfect the art of running the 200 meters, and just take it easy until 2027, and then 2028 eventually in Los Angeles for the Olympic Games. But yes, tonight he performed very well. You can't ask for more than your best at a major championship. And as I said before, when Elias was winning here in 2021 to become Olympic champion, Brian Lavelle was still up in Frankfield Klein, and tonight he came and he shared the spotlight with them. Didn't disappoint, didn't let the country down or anything. In fact, it was a brilliant bronze from him.
And Wayne, as I said earlier, the experience of the athletes will have gotten better of him. Bednarek and the two Americans, I had it. They were the Tebogo did look himself. So I figured that two Americans would have fought it out there for the. But I think Niles is somebody. He's just different.
He's not easily beaten.
Right. He's not easily beaten.
He's not easily beaten. No, right. He's not easily. Lyles presents a problem for everybody once he goes to the line, and tonight Bednarek and Lavelle and Tebogo and all of them found it out. That's just who the man is. He refuses to be beaten.
Rusty lost the 100 meters, so that motivates him.
He's extremely strong. So, but what I see from this race, and I said I'm just a layman here, but what I see from this race is Brian Lavelle, if he gets a little stronger over the next couple, he's 21 years old. He gets a little stronger over the next 2 seasons, he'll be right there with the very best of them. I mean, he already is. He already is. But I think he can get even better because I don't think he's as strong as he can be right now. We know this, that physically, athletes don't, or male or female athletes don't really get to their full strength levels by the time they're 21. They get there when they're like 25, 26 years old. So the future looks very bright for Brian Lavelle. 19.64. To put that in context, in Jamaica, the only two men who have run faster than Brian Lavelle at this age are Johan Blake at 19.26, and of course the GOAT,
world record,
Usain Bolt at 19.19. So you're looking at somebody who is almost there now as a youngster in his first global championship. Can't say enough about young Brian Lavelle coming away with Jamaica's 7th medal at these championships, and of course the 2nd bronze as well. We'll take a quick break and come back to more here on Nationwide with news emerging from the triple jump, and surprising news I should say as well after the break.
Are you living with HIV? It's time to access treatment, get back to business, and begin your path to a brighter, healthier future. The time brought to you by Jamaica AIDS Support for Life is
8:17 a.m.
Fontana Pharmacy has a wide variety of items from pharmaceuticals, household, cosmetics, toys, and more. The temperature by Fontana Pharmacy, it's all good inside, is
29 degrees in Kingston, 28 degrees in Montego Bay.
Already have a T-Tag for your vehicle? Just top it up and go through. Now you can see funds in your T-Tag account almost immediately after topping up. So, if you're already on your journey, you can safely pull off the road and top up using the My T-Tag app or WhatsApp. Or ask a passenger to do it for you. And within 5 to 10 minutes, you can enjoy the lower toll rates and other benefits of the T-Tag lane. Even if you forget to top up before you started your trip, top up your T-Tag and continue to go through quicker and cheaper on Transjam highways.
You're listening to Nationwide's live coverage of the 2025 World Championships in Tokyo, Japan.
Okay, welcome back to Nationwide's coverage of the 2025 World Athletics Championships. Events have concluded for the day on the track. Of course, the triple jump had a
200.
Oh, the 200
female.
women. Sorry, my bad. I just got too excited about Brian Lavelle a while ago. But the day could have ended there for me. But here's the thing. In the men's triple jump, Jordan Scott is finishing outside the medals. 17:21, I think, is his best jump, which puts him at 5th. But Andre Delaval took the lead, 17 meters 64 on his last jump, and was celebrating because he knows he's on the podium and actually potentially in a gold medal position. But then Pedro Picardo, on his last jump, says, "Hello, I am Pedro Picardo," 1791, to reclaim the lead and take the gold medal. Dramatic ending to the men's triple jump. Unfortunate for Jordan Scott, but good effort nonetheless. 1719 and 1721. He brought his best. Can't ask for more than that.
I think what he needs to do is go back and look at the season and probably turn it around in some way that he now produces his best at this point instead of early out in the season. Just probably, adjust a few things here and there. But he had a good season.
Yeah.
He had a really good season.
So, and he's among the money at the World Championships. Can't complain.
Can't complain.
All right, so let's go back over to the commentary now, because the women's 200-meter final is coming up and the possibility of another medal for Jamaica to go along with the medal just won by Brian Lavelle in the men's 200 meters. Car. Mid-race, well, down the stretch, Shericka Jackson looked like she felt something because her stride pattern changed. And then she gave away some distance to Melissa Jefferson and was caught by Amy Hunt. Is that a concern for the relays, especially given, the fact that Shericka is not at her best? Is it potential? We don't know anything yet, but based on what we saw, could that have been an injury that could keep her out?
Possibility exists, even though it's the end of the season. But I don't think she's gonna go out there if she's feeling something.
Mm-hmm.
It's not worth it because she probably could go and at the end not finishing the race also. So we just have to wait and see. Hopefully, just a little cramp and after treatment and thing can get back. But she had a little limp at the last probably 30 meters or something like that. You could see, like we say, her stride pattern just change a bit. But keep our fingers crossed and hope it's just probably a little cramp.
Mm-hmm. So the winner, Melissa Jefferson, 21.68 seconds. Amy Hunt of Great Britain, 22.14. Shericka Jackson, third, 22.18. And Nevia Battle, 22.22. Dina Asher Smith, 22.43. Brittany Brown, 22.54. Marie Talu Smith, 22.62. And Mackenzie Long, 22.78. That's the final positions of the women's 200 meters. So Jamaica picks up 2 medals on the day, 2 bronze medals, 1 in the men's 200 meters, 1 in the women's 200 meters, taking our tally up now to 8 medals.
8. Mm-hmm.
All right, so my prediction of 6 to 10 could be broken because then there are potential medals in the relay as well.
And the discus.
And the discus for men. Yeah. So, I was, like Casey, I was cautiously optimistic.
Yes, and I'm always on the safe side, and in the end, I am vindicated.
All right, but let's break down the performance of Brian Level, first of all, gentlemen. One of the things that I was impressed with in his performance is not just the bronze medal, is the fact of his composure under pressure. He was virtually neck to neck with the three best 200-meter runners in this modern era, and he did not fold.
But Lynn, this is a man that runs 982. He's the third fastest in the world, and running 19.6. We expect a lot. Yes, we're going to say yes, he's young, he's inexperienced, but he has proven that he can run with them based on his times. He didn't get the time just like that. He earned his time. So it proves that he can compete with them. When you put his time along with the others, he's right there with them. So,
yeah, I agree.
So no surprise.
But Coach Carr, when you're at this level, his first major championship, you're up a 3-time defending champion in the house. I mean, another guy who is, in fact, the 2 guys who beat him are the 2 guys who are faster than him this year. But in that circumstance where they're on his shoulder and Tebogo not far behind, he wouldn't have known that. But the 2 fastest guys in the world this year are on his shoulder. He could have easily have folded, but he didn't. That's significant from a mental standpoint, because we've seen bigger athletes in similar circumstances and they fold because the pressure is too great for them to maintain. Talk to me a little bit about that.
One, he's young, he's hungry also, and he has done the best that he could do. He has run his fastest. That means he really tried.
Personal best.
Definitely. So you have to, respect that. And as you said, he kept his composure. He kept his composure. He kept it right through. And again, very good sign for the future.
Wayne, is Wayne there? Okay, well, let's take a time signal and then come back.
Grace is giving shoppers discounts on over 20 of your favorite Grace products when you cash out at participating supermarkets.
The time by Grace Good Move is
8:32 a.m.
Spaces for you. Parks and attractions for you. Housing and residential developments for you. Beautiful rental properties for you. Improving quality of life through infrastructure development across Jamaica for you. The Urban Development Corporation, making development happen for you. Brought to you by the Urban Development Corporation.
UDC for you.
Okay, so we're back here on Nationwide's coverage of the 2025 World Athletics Championships, and Wayne has Jordan Scott with him.
Jordan, an epic triple jump that you were a part of just now. Tell me about it.
It was a great competition. I mean, in general, struggled a little bit with the approach. Like, I mean, same thing I was worried about on Wednesday. Unfortunately, started to get together on the back end of the competition and, started to gain a little bit of traction then. But, I mean, a little bit too late. But all in all, I think it was good showing. I mean, can't beat myself up for being fifth in the world.
Yeah, you didn't get off to a good start. And normally in events like these, you want to set the tone with a good first jump. That didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, started off with a foul, unfortunately. Like I said, just some approach problems. Made some changes and just struggling to iron them out. Confident. I was confident in my ability to jump far, but I mean, it's hard to really jump far when you're not all the way dialed in with certain things. So, like I said, I can't beat myself up. Had an amazing year, absolutely amazing year. And it's just going back to the drawing board to figure out what do we do next.
We'll get some rest, brother. Come back next day.
I appreciate it.
Good man. All right, yeah. So Jordan there, just sort of putting his performance into context in that triple jump that Pedro Pichardo came out with one massive jump on his final attempt to take the gold. I'm a little disappointed with Jordan's position in the standings because, as I said before, he faced these guys right throughout the year, did very well against them, was without question the number one in the Diamond League up until the final. And in fact, he won 3 straight Diamond Leagues. So he was in really, really good form. He took a break and went back to Jamaica and spent some time with his mother, went to church, hung out a bit, and then he left for Brussels, close to the Diamond League final, Zurich, I should say. And he said he was in good form. He corrected a number of stuff, and I'm sure he was looking for much more here tonight. Sadly, it didn't happen.
I was concerned based on his Diamond League final results. He remember in the in meets before, he was consistent. Jumping 17-2, I was concerned.
I have Anthony here, gentlemen. If you could just allow me, Anthony, what happened there? You reported for the 200 meters final, but you didn't get out of the blocks.
I actually did get out the blocks. I false started, but it just wasn't meant to be, to tell the truth. Like, I started the season late. I forced my body to be ready because I wanted it to be, because I felt as if I worked hard. But I can't force something to not be for me if it's not for me. I'll just go back to the drawing board and probably going to get a little curse out for false starting, but it's probably a blessing in disguise. Probably would have messed up myself way more.
What time today you knew you were going to run?
I feel as if I'm in good shape. So, I said yesterday that I basically didn't run. I ran 150 and I ran 22.4. Right. So I was going to try push it to do the full 200 from start to finish because it is lane 1. But I thought I would have PB'd, probably delusional, but I thought I would have PB'd at least at this games. But like I said, it wasn't meant to be. I'm not going to try to force anything and just move on from here.
Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, that's Anthony Strong. And gentlemen, there's a backstory to it, why I stopped her. And I was so interested to hear what she had to say. Well, today, all of today, emails were floating around the place. Last night she did 22:48. Ashanti Moore did 22:51. The thing is, if Anthony Strong did not pull out, clearly should have taken her place. If she pulled out, Ashanti Moore would have gotten the spot.
Yeah.
And the two camps were today trading emails. Who was supposed to call the Bahamas? Even Mike Sands got involved at one stage. They wanted to know if she was going to withdraw because it's a hamstring, and to let Ashanti know early so she could go get warm up and so on. And up to 10 o'clock, I was seeing email from one camp to the next camp, and people were wondering why, with a hamstring, she's forcing it when she could give the spot to Ashanti Moore. And I tell you what, It's more to this than anything else. And now that she false started, I'm not sure you're going to hear the end of it, because there were people on the Jamaican side who were saying, yeah, I mean, for sure. And then she had a particular time in the day in which she should if she was going to withdraw. But everything came down to to her only, and she's stuck in there. And the last thing we heard was that she was gonna try to have a go, but it didn't play out well today. I can tell you, between the Bahamas and Jamaica, to be honest with you, which is why I stopped her, because I really wanted a bit more from her, because I saw what was happening today.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I was wondering myself now, because if you're suffering an injury and can't go, why would you then not relinquish the spot? Because if you're unable to compete, in fairness, you earn your spot, yes, but if you're unable to compete, why not allow another athlete to go and try to make the opportunity? But I guess it comes down.
It's a hamstring.
Yeah.
Or it's a hamstring injury. You don't get over that, because the last night when she came inside here, she sat right there, and I was even asking her. I said, "Auntie, what about tomorrow?" What I really want to say, I'm not going to say it, but the point is, you got the impression that politics was at work, and it probably was rooted through a particular direction, not necessarily from a national standpoint. And if you, I don't know, it's crazy.
And then she had lane one.
I was shocked. No, it was always going to be lane one. When I saw it there, I was shocked. Let me tell you something. You see, if she had attempted and pull up somewhere, that would be different. You see, now that she went out there and false started when... Yeah.
Sends a message.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you, though, with the situation with Brian Lavelle, I was talking to Coach Carr about it and Casey Graham, about the way he maintained his composure under pressure from arguably the three best 200-meter runners in the world right now. I mean, what does that say? You mentioned earlier before the race about how mature and how calm he is. Is that one of the characteristics you believe that will make him eventually a great 200-meter runner, being under pressure in his first major championship and managing to maintain his composure under that kind of pressure in the biggest race of his life?
This boy is chilled. He's so chilled. I tell you, Leighton, if you don't listen to him carefully, you can't hear what he says.
I know.
No matter how close you are to him. This boy doesn't talk. Brian Lavelle came in to pick up his spike, because he wears a particular spike. And when he came over to pick up the spike the day, I was sitting very next to him, and I was talking to this man. And I'm sure 80% of what he said I didn't hear. He was on his phone, and he was just there. And yesterday when he requested the yogurt because he didn't want to have too much to eat before his semi-final, he's so chill. And it is his personality. That's how he is. And it is going to serve him well in situations like these, because he's not just coming up against three of the greatest of the modern era to do it. He's coming up against gentlemen who are quick and willing to get into the opponent's head, to get on a half a yard if it means that they do that. And you've got to have thick skin to compete with people like Noah Lars and Kenny Benrick and Thibogo and who else is going to come. And it is one advantage that he has that is going to serve him well, and a lot of sportsmen would love it. He's so calm generally.
Yep.
And you just get the impression that he takes it into his job as well.
Boy has ice water in his veins. Coach Carl, let me bring you in on this conversation with the Shani Anthony Strong situation. I mean, I understand the dynamic of you earning your spot in the final and choosing to run. But if you're unable to go, from an ethical standpoint, wouldn't you want to give it to somebody else who can actually compete instead of denying someone an opportunity? What's your thought on that?
As Wayne said, I think it's much deeper than just going there. When we saw her, we said, well, probably she's just going to limp it out and finish that and probably collect whatever change there is. But to go there and false start, something else is behind it. It is not as simple as we see it. I think it's much deeper than that. But it's very unfortunate also. And it was not a mistake. The false start was not a mistake. It was deliberate. So, I don't know I don't want to use the word selfish or so, but we don't know what's behind it. But it's very unfortunate.
Gentlemen, let me just jump in with something I didn't say. So today, one of the considerations the powers that be in both camps. From her camp, the question was, how will it look for World Athletics to have an empty lane out there? It's gonna look really bad. And yeah, the Jamaican camp was saying it doesn't have to be. I mean, you either go and take the place or allow somebody to take the place. But a major consideration about how would it look to have so many heats, semi-finals, quarterfinals, and then come to the final, you're one runner short when it could have been avoided. So that was a major consideration. And I say that to say perhaps that's the reason why she came out, took the lane, so aesthetically they're all filled. And then, I don't know that that's what she did. I can't say that. But just reading the room, and because I was following the conversation today, yeah, I don't know. It's a bit unfortunate. It really shouldn't have happened, and it did. But let's see. See, Brian is coming to me. Brian, if you could just come this way, let's talk about your brilliant bronze tonight, brother. Yeah, your first global senior championship, you left to the bronze. It would be easy for you to feel disappointed given the sort of build-up and the sort of improvement that you've made over the last year or so. But you kept a smile on your face right throughout post-race, and you're even having a smile on your face even now.
I have nothing to feel disappointed about coming to the championships.
Yes.
I have nothing to feel disappointed about coming to the championships. I think I wasn't, I would say, like, expected, like, have anything to lose also. So I just come out here and have fun, and I got home with a medal and a personal best. So
Yeah.
I think that's the best.
Yeah, what I want you to do, though, talk me through the race. Talk me through the race. Was it that you wanted to make sure you get off the bend before Noah? Because it looked as if that's what his plan, to get there before you get onto the straight.
It was not really that. Just wanted to execute a good race and coming off the bend and into the straightaway. Just wanted to get my legs up as high as possible and just hit the track hard.
What was the advice Shanika gave you before you left her company today?
She just said to go out there and have fun, and I have nothing to lose, so I should not be like tens or anything.
Yeah. Totally uncomplicated.
Yeah.
You were in between Kung Fu and Noah Lyles. How did that feel to have between those two guys?
It's a good feeling. They're two very fast athletes, so I didn't feel pressured or anything. So yeah.
Did you feel you could win it? At any time in the race, you figured you were going to win it?
Of course, definitely. We all went in the race wanting to win. But, at the end of the day, I can't complain or be sad because I got a personal best. That's the best I ever done, so I just have to take it.
Yeah. So your season has come to an end. How would you put it into context? How would you look back at it? If you were to look back at the season, what would you say about it?
Magnificent. Magnificent season.
One word, magnificent.
Yeah.
No championship next year. Is that a good thing that you don't have to be pressuring yourself to build up to another championship so you can use next year to sort of learn the event going into Beijing 2027, or you'd prefer to have another one right after this one?
I don't have really much to say about that because, it's my job to compete, and as athletes, we have to compete whether or not there's a championship or not. So it doesn't faze me or anything.
Uncomplicated, eh?
Yeah.
One last thing. What are you going to be treating yourself to? You can't win a bronze in your first World Cup. What are you going to treat yourself? What are you going to buy for yourself?
Well,
as a present to say, listen, Brian, you had a good season.
I'm not sure yet, but I'll definitely be getting myself something nice and just enjoying.
What you feeling know what you're going to get?
Huh?
You're going to get something nice.
Yeah.
You know, I say what it
No, I don't know what's going to be. Yeah.
I know. You can't know what they're going to buy you. It's okay.
Yeah.
Something shine.
Yeah,
Brian, it was a good season and it was a good championship for you. And I hope you go on and you build on this for next year. We're looking forward to seeing you. You had a fabulous year.
True.
All the best, brother. Take care, man. Right? Hey, man. All right, that's Brian Lavelle there, guys.
Wait, I'm surprised. I didn't know that he could talk that much.
Yeah, I spoke with him for 2 minutes at the national championships, and we actually got more out of him than I did. But he's a phenomenal young man. I think he has ice water in his veins. He never seems to be flustered, and you heard him say it. He felt no pressure.
Yeah.
And you saw that it manifested itself. 19.64. You have 19.63 or 19.551 on your outside. 19 points, and 19.7 on the other side. 19.6 in terms of personal best, season best for Kenny Bretner. And he held his own, they were just a little bit stronger than he was.
And let's see where he's coming from. Last year, he was nowhere close.
Yeah, 1997 last year and 9.97.
And now he's running 19.6.
And
you have to give him a lot of credit for that.
And kudos to his coach for taking him that far along in just a season. So Shanique Osborne, kudos to you. Massive congratulations.
Well, you really read Shanique. I think you have called her near 100 times in the past 2 days.
Listen, she is, to me, a lot of people, unfortunately, we live in a society that only sees men's success as being significant. What Shanique Osborne, look, I've always known about how good she was, because she coached Candice McLeod at Papine High. We saw Candice do
and there
quite
was
well.
There was another athlete there from Papine.
She coached Tajay Gale as well, right? And to see her take Elaine Thompson-Herah from 11.05 to 10.79 2 seasons ago within 6 weeks, a short window of time, tells you about her acumen as a coach. And I think what we've seen now is a further manifestation of that talent in what she's been able to do with Brian Lavelle. And if she continues to work along this line in terms of her, because I know for a fact that she's a student of the sport. She reads excessively, intensely. She studies. She always tries to find the latest things, the latest developments in
And she
sport.
was in Stephen Francis camp.
Yeah,
so she had learned, and she was sent to
About
Ulmas
11
Boys
years,
School. She was sent to Ulmas Boys School as a female to coach Ulmas Boys School.
Yeah.
So she must have some talent.
She has a lot of talent, and of course,
You really say that about her, though. About 110 times.
Because I respect her a lot. I mean, we talk about Glenn Mills, we talk about Stephen Francis, we talk about Maurice Wilson, we talk
No,
about...
yeah, but talk about the coach from the new club there, journalist,
Elite, I mean, we talk about him all
Michael
the time.
Frater. I don't think I heard Michael Frater name called 5 times.
Yeah, but okay, so let's put it into context. Akeem Blake, talented young man, has been with Michael Frater now for 3 years. Okay, World Indoor bronze medalist. Shanique Osborne had just took this young man in his second full season as a pro to a world championship bronze medal. They're on the same level. It's not like we're trying to overlook. It's not a zero-sum game. Both can be great at the same time.
And when you look back at what happened to Elaine again, you have to go back there.
Shanique has been...
But remember, Elaine went to Shanique with the Stephen Francis already made her. So she got somebody who was at her peak.
No, Casey. Cut that rubbish.
No.
She left MVP and she struggled. She was 5th at the national championships in 11.05.
But she had it already. She had it.
So why didn't she run it at the national championships if she had it already?
So, is that Elaine Thompson wasn't a new... I understand Brian Level.
No,
Elaine Thompson was already a superstar.
Casey, she left MVP. 2 years later, she's at the national championships and finishes 5th in 11.05. Whatever program that Stephen Francis may have had or embedded in her system, she was either had already plateaued in that system and then begun to deteriorate. 11.05.
I don't think so.
Casey, the evidence is there. That year...
She had an injury problem.
Yes, but injuries happen as part of the sport. So if she had injury problem, was a big factor. Why then did Shanique take her from 11.05 to 10.79 in 6 weeks?
Shelley and Fraser left.
And she ran faster.
We don't hear the same thing about that.
No, because Casey.
I come from a Stephen Francis camp.
Yeah, but she ran 10.70 at MVP, right? And then she was in that region for a year, and then she went down to 10.63. And then she went on to 10.60 under journalist, right? Casey, as a coach, that programs change and athletes' bodies get used to programs and they plateau in those programs, which is why you tweak programs. And as a coach, you should know that.
I'm not taking anything away from Shanique.
But that's what you're trying to do.
No. Give the other people credit who coached Stephen Francis, athletes who left Stephen Francis and went to their crew.
Let's bring you in. let's bring you in here. Wayne.
I don't know the kind of relationship you have with.
I don't have any
Because
relationship
she's a
with
female.
Shaniki.
No, because she's a female. That's why you are behaving that way.
No, because I'm respecting.
Other coaches, the journalists and the freighter, they have done well with at least.
You have to give on to Caesar what is due to Caesar.
So give to other people too. At the Caesar.
Who is coaching her? Who is coaching Brand Level now?
I'm not talking shit. I talk about the
No, Casey, you are falling into the stereotype of the patriarchal thing that we're talking about.
I'm not.
Wayne, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, perfectly. And another thing you must also add is that while she was Elaine didn't just pluck her out of the air. When she was at the Stephen Francis camp, Sharika was there and Shanika worked with her. So she know her program, she know her injuries. And Stephen once said that Shanika is probably the only other person outside of him who knows how to work with her because she has a particular sort of injury that needs a sort of attention.
Thank you very much.
So Elaine didn't just pick her out of the blue. Elaine knew who she was getting and what she was doing and what this girl was capable of.
Right. Nothing wrong with that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
but she has already made it. So
and Shaniki played a role in when she was making it. So yes, she was in the Stephen Francis.
It's also carry on.
Shaniki worked with her. Yeah.
All right. So anyway, we're all the time. Wayne, we gotta go. But good job again today. Of course, we catch up tomorrow with more action from Tokyo on behalf of Coach Casey Raymond. We have one word where you have 30 seconds.
Question, Wayne, you got my message?
I would have to check in a little while. I'll talk to you. I'll talk
check
to you.
it out.
I'll talk to you.
All right. So, on behalf of Casey Graham, Coach Michael Carr, Wayne Walker, the production team, Little Bucky and Damien, this is Nathan Levy saying have a good day. 2 medals for Jamaica today, 2 bronze in the 200 meters for men and women. Brand Level, 19.64 personal best. Sharika Jackson, 22.18 for bronze. Until tomorrow, when hopefully more medals will be in play. This is Leighton Levy saying have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow at Sports Nation at Nationwide to coverage of the 2025 World Athletics Championships. Goodbye.
You've just heard Nationwide's live coverage of the 2025 World Championships in Tokyo, Japan.